Hello, welcome. Thank you for joining us on this edition of NEWS2. I'm Sandra Gumansing. In our top story, residents in the territory who are employed with the Virgin Islands government have already experienced anxiety over the $100 million shortfall that the government has already passed legislation to rectify. Now, retirees of the government employees' retirement system may be facing further economic issues that may affect the entire territory. NEWS2's reporter Stephanie Brown files this report.
Government retirees may be faced with difficult times. Already, so many retirees are still waiting to receive their pension from the government retirement system, and now it's reported that the system is on the brink of insolvency.
The harsh reality is that even though the actuarial consultants have projected that the system will run out of assets within 6 years or before September 2023, the government employees retirement system will run out of cash before it runs out of assets.
The governor went on to state that the inability to pay retirees could cause serious economic hardships on every family and business in the Virgin Islands, and he proposed reforms. Conversely, the Virgin Islands government has been accused of being one of the largest entities that has contributed to the insolvency of GRS.
The government, the prime sponsor, the government of the Virgin Islands, not paying in the fair share or what is owed to the system out of the last 25 years. The plan sponsor has neglected to fund the system by a tune of $1.4 billion.
In February of 2015, the governor accused individuals of using schemes to get GRS monies to line their pockets, and he also spoke on a radio talk show about investments he felt did not provide assurances nor long-term earnings for retirees.
And we have always lost. The last one was we put $15 million in a property that was worth $4.5 million called Carambola. We are now close to $30 million in the Carambola project. All of that money is out of the government employees retirement system.
Austin Dibbs, the administrator of the retirement system, commented that GRS has been yielding profits and discussed the sale of one of its assets.
Atlantis Life Settlements, I think that was a bad investment, but the other alternative investments, we are being paid. We did assume Carambola, and we very shortly would be disposing of that asset.
NEWS2, I'm Stephanie Shalana Brown.
Now, the governor proposed that GERS adopt federal guidelines for a sustainable pension plan, as well as reduce the annual accrual rate from 2.50% a year. In other news, Supreme Court Justices Maria Cabret, Reese Hodge, and Ives Swan were sworn in for their second term today at Government House St. Thomas. Governor Kenneth Mapp congratulated the justices. Before their friends, family, and fellow jurists, today, Supreme Court Justices Maria Cabret, Reese Hodge, and Ives Swan were sworn in for their second term Thursday at Government House.
On behalf of the Virgin Islands Bar Association, to welcome you to this historic swearing-in. As an arm of the Supreme Court of the Virgin Islands, it is the mission of the Virgin Islands Bar Association to promote the administration of justice in the territory and to improve the community through public education and public service. These twin goals are reflected in our motto, striving for justice, serving our community. Chief Justice Reese S. Hodge and Associate Justices Maria M. Cabret and I. Arlington Swan embody these goals and represent the best of the legal profession. I know this because, like many of those present here today, beside them at the Supreme Court of the Virgin Islands.
Former Governor Charles Turnbull called the event a historical celebration of the judiciary of the Virgin Islands. He was instrumental in nominating the three judges.
Flag. We are here to celebrate, and we're here to thank the three justices of the Supreme Court who have done so well in the past years. It was my joy and privilege to have been the person who appointed them. Back in 1964 rather, I was the youngest member of the first Constitutional Convention. And at that convention, I advocated a Supreme Court for the Virgin Islands. Many of the older heads did not agree. They felt that it was not timely, we were not ready. And what was the problem to me, there were some in the Constitutional Convention and in the community who felt that there would never come a day when the people of the Virgin Islands would have the talent to have jurists to sit on a Supreme Court where only the Supreme Court of the United States of America will be higher.
The three shared their sentiments and thanked those who supported them.
I want to thank the great Almighty who has guided me and shepherded me to this juncture in my life, for which I am eternally grateful. I want to thank my spouse, Gertrude Niles Drew Swan, my beloved, for unceasing and unwavering love and support during the past several decades.
Members of the judiciary, and especially Presiding Judge Emeritus Vern Hodge, friends and family, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to be with us this morning.
There are many persons that I must acknowledge, without whose actions, help, and support, I would not be standing here today. First and foremost, I must thank God for all of his many blessings. And I also thank Governor Mapp for renominating myself and Justice Maria M. Cabret and Justice Ive Arlington Swan to second terms on the Supreme Court.
And I assure you that in my task to find two new associate justices or two new justices to the Supreme Court, I am going to look to ethics, work ethic. I am going to look to integrity, to character, to the person's background, their ability to write and express themselves well, so that the ultimate administration of justice, the ultimate interpretation of our statutes that you, the Supreme Court, decide that last forever can be done at the standards that the three of you have established in the last 10 years. All of us in the Virgin Islands are really proud of you. All of us respect you highly, and all of us will struggle to meet the standards that you have set.
In other news, today was the last day for voters to change political party and or cancellation of party enrollment, as well as the last day to investigate all questions relating to registration of electors. Today was also the last day for voters' registration. The casting of lots, which determines the order in which candidates will appear on the ballot, that's scheduled for 5:30 Friday. Carolyn Fox, election supervisor, said the St. Thomas St. John board will meet at 1:30 on Tuesday at the election system offices. Members will consider the approval of the official ballot for the special election. Court records indicate that Kevin Rodriguez filed an appeal Wednesday to have his case heard before the 3rd U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. Delegate Stacey Plaskett stood in solidarity with colleagues Wednesday in celebration of International Women's Day. She said, "When women succeed, the world succeeds." Here's more.
Change that. And all across the country, women are speaking out and walking out to tell the president and his Republican enablers in Congress that we will not go back. We will not go back to an idealized post-war America where women of color were denied the vote, where LGBT Americans were denied marital and parental rights, where women could not get bank credit without the permission of their husbands, where marital rape and sexual harassment were not punishable crimes, and where women of all backgrounds died because they couldn't get life-saving health care. We will not go back to a time where simply being a woman was a pre-existing condition. And insurance companies were allowed to deny coverage or make us pay higher premiums than men.
Meanwhile, protesters took to the streets across the country Wednesday to mark International Women's Day and the Day Without Women strike, rallying for equal rights. thousands of women nationwide taking the day to commemorate International Women's Day. A move would force some D.C. areas schools to close to inadequate staffing. This march was to protest the so-called gag rule President Trump reinstituted soon after taking office, which prevents any organization receiving U.S. foreign aid from offering abortions or even providing information about them. During a crucial week in the battle to replace Obamacare, the Trump administration is also facing more questions about the president's so far unproven claims that he was wiretapped by former President Obama. Trump has not offered evidence to back up his bold wiretapping claim. He's also not getting much backup from his vice president, who seemed to duck questions during interviews. The allegation stems from a series of presidential tweets Saturday morning. Keeping our eye on the economy, let's take a look at the stock market watch at the New York Stock Exchange. According to the numbers there, the Dow up, NASDAQ up, and S&P 500 also up 1. Coming up on News 2, VI History Month celebration continues at various schools throughout the territory. We'll have highlights coming up next. Welcome back. Time for some news from the Caribbean. Out of NEWS, the electricity company is thanking the public for its understanding during difficult challenges due to the missed fuel supply delivery. Here's more.
The acting general manager of the NEWS electricity company, NEVLEC, wishes to thank the general public for their understanding during the last week when the company experienced some challenges. A logistical mishap caused the company's fuel supplier to miss the delivery of fuel that had been ordered. Because of this situation, engines 7 and 10 that use the specialized fuel were taken out of operation last week, Tuesday. Fortunately, because of unusually higher than normal wind on NEWS, the NEWS wind farm was able to provide some assistance.
During our difficult period, however, we saw something that we have never seen since 2010 when the wind farm was commissioned. For that entire period when we were unable to deliver and had to take our engines out of commission, the wind farm delivered in excess of 1 megawatt consistently until yesterday when the wind died off. So we want to applaud, of course, the good guys at the wind farm who did whatever they did, apart from the wind being good, but ensured to do whatever maintenance was necessary to ensure that the farm kept us during this period.
The wind gusts began to reduce on Sunday, and as a result, the company was forced to institute load shedding on a Sunday, Monday, and part of Tuesday of this week.
We are happy to report that the shipment of oil was received and delivered to us this morning, March 7, 2017. Please be advised, therefore, that effective today, power has been restored to a state of normalcy. We at NEVLEC thank you for your patience and understanding during this difficult time that we experience.
Swanston visited our studios on Tuesday afternoon and made the announcement. He also thanked the technicians at the Prospect Generation Plant for their continued diligence.
Turn our attention back at home. Here's an update from WAPA. Line department crews were dispatched to several areas across St. Croix, continuing work to restore all areas with electric service. The isolated areas are experiencing service interruptions relating to the high winds and inclement weather over the past 2 days. The work ranges from replacement of transformers to pole replacement to issues on the distribution system. Affected areas included Burns Hill, Estate Wim, Richmond, Williams Delight, Constitution Hill, Estate St. John, and Montpelier, Cotton Valley, Hope, and Carlton Hill, as well as Barron Spot. The Government Affairs, Veterans, Energy, and Environmental Protection Committee, they will be meeting at 9 a.m. St. Croix Senate to hear testimony about WAPA proposed base rate increase tomorrow, its smart meter program, and the debt, the VI Waste Management Authority, and the hospitals owe WAPA. Well, the Alfredo Andrews Elementary School, they resumed regular class schedule today, Thursday, March 9th, following an early dismissal of classes on Wednesday morning. The high winds overnight on Tuesday blew leaves and particles into the ducts that affected the ventilation system in the school's kitchen and cafeteria. They say the ducts have been cleaned and sealed. A cleaning contractor was also called into the school to thoroughly disinfect the affected areas in the cafeteria and kitchen. The St. Croix District Office of the Insular Superintendent thanks the community for its patience as this matter was resolved. They're also reminding parents and students of Alfredo Andrews Elementary School that the classes will continue their regular schedules on Friday, March 10th. Now, the Department of Education also says a rumor began circulating yesterday of a roof collapse at the Elena Christian Junior High School due to heavy overnight winds on Tuesday. Department officials say, please note that this information is false. Elena Christian remained in full session on March 8th, and there was no damage to the school's facilities. They also say, please note there has been no roof collapse at Alfredo Andrews Elementary School or any other public school in the territory. The Waste Management Authority has agreed to pay a final $20,000 fine to the federal government for violations of a wastewater treatment consent decree, part of a stipulation regarding violations of the amended consent decree that occurred between January 1st, 2013 and March 16, 2016, according to court documents. Alice Kroll, who is the communications manager, said the violations were relatively minor and were related to water temperature and pH levels in discharge. In celebration of the Virgin Islands Transfer Centennial, as we shared, the Denmark Virgin Islands Transfer Marathons, they're being held. Here's a picture of the group that ran the St. Thomas race. The group included two hard-running 69-year-olds and a man who was running his 298th full-length marathon. The same three races, which is 26.2 miles, 13.1 miles, and 10 kilometers. That was held this morning in Coral Bay and will occur again on St. Croix on Sunday. Today's races in St. John started and finished at the Fortsburg bus stop area. There are invited runners from Denmark. All ages and abilities are welcome to participate. It's presented by the Virgin Islands Pace Runners. Claudia Marco Elementary School on St. Croix, they had a Virgin Islands History Month day showcasing the culture and history of the territory. The program was entitled Clear the Road and was chaired by Jermaine Powell. The choir performed the African United Anthem and also sang a song from The Lion King. Dr. Sharon Charles, the assistant principal at the school, also commented on the program.
Sharon Charles, assistant principal at the Claudia Marco Elementary School, and today we have a celebration, a centennial celebration here at the school where we are having our children engage in some meaningful activities relating to the history and culture of the Virgin Islands.
Congratulations to the students, job well done there. Well, are you into the natural look? Well, an event is coming up for you to mark on your calendar if you want to be inspired, informed, to learn about different products, hairstyle, have lots of fun. Get ready as the Curl Whisperer, Tamika McNeil Johnson and Candace Kelly. They will be in St. Croix March 11th from 11 a.m. to 3 at Miss Naturalista, and then on St. Thomas March 12th at Windward Passages at 3 p.m. Here is more.
I am not my hair, I am not your skin, I am not your expectations, no. I am not my hair, I am not your skin, I am the soul.
So Ms. Curl Whisper, how does it feel to be in the Virgin Islands?
I feel blessed to be back again. Thank you once again for inviting me back.
And now what to expect, Miss Kelly? Coming to the workshop, St. Croix is a meet and greet and St. Thomas is the full workshop. What can they expect?
Well, they can expect live consultations, natural hair demos, some games, lots of prizes, and just really an understanding of their hair and getting to like and understand their hair better with so many natural hair options.
All right, so let's get a personal invitation from the Curl Whisperer herself to anyone that's watching out there.
All my islanders, come check me out this Saturday and Sunday while I consult with you live, get my hands in your hair, and show you how to work with some products.
Singing out to the whole wide world like, hey!
Be sure to check that out. Now, time for your winning lottery numbers that were drawn early today. Grab your pen and paper, and good luck as you check those tickets.
The VI Lottery presents draw results of today's drawing on News 2. Here are the top prizes. Fifth prize for $20,000, 31577. 31577. Fourth prize for $30,000, 17905. 17905. Third prize for $40,000, 31225. 31225. Second prize for $65,000, 26303. 26303. And the winning ticket number for the grand prize of $175,000 is 15909. 15909. If your ticket number wasn't called, keep trying. One of these days, your number could win. The next drawing is March 23rd. Play the VI Lottery and imagine the possibilities.
Again, good luck as you check those tickets, and as you can see, those images were honoring our local farmers in recognition of agriculture. Stick around, your News 2 AccuWeather forecast is coming up next.
As we take a look at our satellite, we continue to see a large area of high pressure over into the Atlantic, centered right here, and the wind flow around that bringing us our moderately strong trade wind flow, and that's what's been causing these showers and a little bit thicker cloud cover during some parts of today. Now, as we head throughout the rest of the weekend, these trades are going to begin to drop off as that area of high pressure slides off towards the east, so we'll be seeing less of a pressure gradient here, and that means very light showers and passing as well. So they should be quick, fairly light. For tonight, partly cloudy conditions. Maybe a stray shower, but outside of that, looking mostly dry. Now into tomorrow for St. John's, 83 degrees. For our high, partly sunny conditions, once again, just a brief passing trade wind shower going to be possible all the way into St. Thomas as well as down into St. Croix. Now, as we continue to see our trade winds decrease, the small craft advisory for tomorrow, we do expect to go into a small craft use caution. We do continue to see our waves fairly high because of those stronger to moderate trade winds, 8 to 10 feet. But as we head into the weekend, whether you're on the Atlantic or even onto the Caribbean side, your boating and beach conditions will begin to improve as we head into Friday night. Overall, the weekend looking absolutely beautiful ahead. Very light passing trade wind flow, and our wind's going to die down, which means our waves will as well, losing that rip current risk as we head throughout the weekend. And even into early next week, we could see a stray shower or a shower in spots, but we do have a cold front passing through the Bahamas into the central Caribbean, but we are going to see another storm system pick that up before it really reaches far enough down to us here in the Virgin Islands. Temperature is going to be sitting in those low to mid 80s here for our high, so it's going to be a warm blend over the next 5 days. Back to you.
Thank you. Time for our News 2 weather picture there by Tishawn Dowdy of Ricardo Richards Elementary School, including a lot of sunshine there, but basically saying smooth sailing weather-wise as we inch closer to the weekend. Shower here and there. Keep the umbrella handy. Tishawn, thank you. Send us your News 2 weather picture to the address on the screen, and then be sure to tune in and see it right here on News 2. That is all for now. Thank you for joining us. I'm Sandra Dumansing. Have a wonderful evening. We'll see you next time.